Good evening, Junkyard Interviews. I am Jack Heesling. Tonight I'm sitting down with Ricardo Viana, who is the drummer for the Veer Union, amongst many, many other things. Very excited to have him on the show tonight. Ricardo, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey man, thank you for having me. Yeah, my name is Ricardo Viana. I play drums in Veer Union, but I'm also a session musician. I play drums for a bunch of different acts and any really artist or band that needs a drummer locally or for touring.
You're a busy, busy guy. In addition to the bands and the session recording, you're also part of BNHO. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it's like a long distance recording project I have with my buddies from my old band from Mexico, where when we went to high school together, kind of thing, and we never really did anything original back then. We only played covers. But a few years ago, we were like, hey, let's start writing some tunes and releasing them, and see what happens. So it's more of a passion project slash see what happens kind of thing. But we're enjoying doing it, and I'm actually kind of like I put on like a producer slash mixing hat for this project because I also like mix and produce some of these songs. We kind of like have this deal where the songs I write, I produce and I mix, and the songs somebody else writes, they do the mixing and all that. So it's kind of like a combined effort, and yeah, we just trying to explore new things and learn new things because there's just so much things you can do with music. It's like anything, right? So you just never stop learning. You just always try new things and just pushing yourself to get better at whatever you want to do, kind of thing. I mean, I also play in a punk band locally, but I did go to music school for 4 years, so I pretty much learned like most genres that are out there, drumming wise.
How did you really get your start in this passion of yours?
I mean, when I was, I think, around 7 years old, I think they put me, in piano lessons, which I hated at the time. I was like, I don't want to do this whatsoever. And so I think I had like 3 or 4 lessons, and I was like, it's not my thing. And I just didn't like it. And then I started playing guitar like later on when I was around like 14 years old. And then after like a year later, I picked up drums, and I just kind of like dedicated myself more to it, and I went to school for it. I mean, I learned, how to read notes and all that in school, but my instrument was percussion. So I kind of like left the guitar playing aside for a little bit, and I put more focus in just my time and effort to drumming kind of thing.
Now, you're originally from Mexico. You live in Canada now. That's a big switch. Mm-hmm. So how did that whole thing take place?
Well, I really wanted to move like away from the country since I was like really young. I was just kind of waiting to finish high school so I can, well, that was what my dad told my brother and myself, because I had a brother at some point, and then he, fortunately, he passed away when I was like 18 and he was 17 in a car accident. But anyway, I was just like, we just wanted to play music, and we knew that the kind of music we like, it wasn't very popular in Mexico, like at all. We like first we wanted to go to the States, but it was it still is easier for a Mexican person to move to Canada than it is to the States, because the way they think about us, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but so I did. I actually just started. I just came here to learn English. That was my in kind of thing. But I knew I wanted to stay, and I was going to do whatever it took to stay. And I went through a lot of stuff, and I made it happen. And I'm happy to call Canada my home now, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
How do you get connected with Crispin Earl and those guys and get into the Veer Union?
Well, since I first moved up here, I just started right off the bat. I just went on but I was looking for, on the newspaper section of, like people looking for drummers or whatever. I just wanted to jam. So I started playing with everybody and anybody. And I was in a few bands that, they kind of wanted to make it, but they didn't have the drive. I was hoping, because, when you want to do something, you expect everybody to have the same kind of mindset. And I just couldn't find the right fit. And I know I've known Kristen and Ryan for, I think Kristen for like maybe 10, 12 years now. But we were just friends. We would go out and, party and whatnot. And I had my bands, my own project going on, and he had the Veer Union since forever. So we just kind of like never really crossed our minds to play together really until a few years ago when the drummer, I'm not sure what the real issue was, but I think he just couldn't make one tour they had booked, and he just told me, and I would say a panic. He was like, he really needed to, like someone to come out and fill in, or maybe join for time being. So he was, hey man, you want to fill in? And I was like, sure. Surprised you didn't ask me earlier, and yeah, we did that one tour, and then we just like as a band, because when we were friends prior, so we kind of knew each other, but it's a complete, like a shift, like just thinking you're friends with someone and then having to spend months on end trapped with them. It's a completely different. It's like being married to someone, because we are living together, we eat together, we go to work together, so it's worse than marriage, because you see them all the time.
Tell me about your thought process going into writing Slaves to the System and some of the signs that you guys held up during the video and all that stuff. What was that experience like for you?
Well, we just wanted to, it's funny because that song started being written way before COVID hit. And we actually weren't planning on releasing it when we did, but, we were like, it's kind of funny because, most people probably think that we kind of aimed the lyrics and the whole idea of the song is based on what is happening in the world right now, but we actually didn't. It just happened to fit with what was happening, and the video, we kind of like aimed it a little bit towards just trying to bring everybody together. I'm Mexican, you can tell. Kristen's black, and Ryan's white, so it's only a matter of time before we start making fun of each other because of our race, but we do it in a way just to celebrate each other's, race. It's not like we actually are putting them down. We're celebrating that we're all different. And
what has been your shining moment, your favorite moment in your career so far?
It's kind of hard to pick one. I mean, it's funny, like when I was maybe like 10 years ago, it was kind of like cool at that point in time, because I actually joined like my old drum kit, the one I had before I got this kit from B Drum. I had I still have it. It's a PDP kit, but I actually won it in a concert that the band Drowning Pool put on, where you had to film yourself playing one of their songs, and I did, and I played Bodies. That's the one everyone knows, and that was my favorite song up there, so I did it. And it's funny because a friend of mine told me about the contest a day before it ended, so I just kind of like rushed and just played it, put a camera on, played it, and then I sent it, hoping for the best.
Sure.
And the drummer, he is the one who Drowning Pool drummer. He picked the winner, and he picked me, and I won his kit, and it was like a brand new just PDC kit with all the hardware, all the cymbals, double kicks. So at that point, I felt like, it was a dream, even though I just was doing what I love, which is playing one of my favorite songs, and happened to like it, and I won a drum kit with it.
That's really cool. A lot of people talk about how much time you spend, on the floor talking with fans and stuff. What's that experience like for you, just having a ton of people be just amazed with you guys?
It's very humbling. I mean, I still feel, a little like awkward per se or a little shy. It's just when it's when just we do make an effort to rush to the merch table as soon as we're done our sets in order to like meet everybody and shake their hands. Hopefully we can do that sometime soon too. uh, Most people like drive for hours to get to a city near them just to go see it. So I just would feel like a terrible person if I don't know at least say them to their face like thanks for coming out and are you interested in any merch or do you want a CD or anything signed? Like we'll happily go through everybody. As long as the line is, we'll go through it and shake everybody's hands and take pictures or if they're there for us. So it would make sense if we're not there for them too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I love that you said how humbling it is. It's really nice to hear that. We're just about out of time. I don't want to hold you over. Anything you want to talk about before we kick it off?
I just make sure you check out the band, check out our new single, and please follow us, and that helps a lot of fans now that we can't really tour. We just rely on all the streams and all the follows, and just people telling their friends about us, and yeah, it would really help us out if you go to Spotify or Instagram or everything out there and just give us a like and a follow and spread the word.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much for sitting down with me tonight, Ricardo. I know you're a busy guy. I'll let you get back to it. Hopefully we'll see you again in the future with the whole band or maybe just you again. You're a good guest. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for having me, man. Pleasure.